Okay, so today we are going to discuss measurement. That's what we are going to be discussing. And I'm going to make it in a practical way. I'm going to use a male mannequin to take the measurements. But every single thing I am doing here will also or can also be applicable to the female, whether it's going to be a mannequin you want to use or a person. So, without wasting much time, these are the things we are going to learn how to measure. We are going to measure the chest circumference, the waist circumference, hip circumference, natural waist line, center back neck to natural waistline, center front neck to natural waistline, neck circumference, head circumference, across back width, across front width, shoulder length, sleeve, wrist circumference, hand circumference, back neck height, front floor, or simply put, the full length. Low waist to the floor length, natural waist to hip, front crotch length, back crotch length, inside leg length, thigh circumference, calf circumference, ankle circumference, heel foot circumference, and then seat depth. So without wasting much time, using this to demonstrate how we are going to go about it, the first thing I said we are going to do is to take the chest circumference, and this is where we are going to take the chest circumference from. So you put your tape rule around the chest, let it go round the chest on the nipple points, let it go round the chest on the nipple points. So this is your chest circumference. So this is your chest circumference. Goes round the chest at the nipple points. This is your chest circumference. The next one is your waist circumference. Your waist circumference. Now, when we are talking about the waist circumference, we can subdivide it into two parts. The waist circumference, which in other words, you can say the round body around the navel side, and then we have the other one, the natural waist. That is where your trousers sit. Now, what's the difference between these? The waist circumference around your navel is 2 inches higher than your waist circumference. So when you are taking your waist circumference, look at where your round body measurements or your waist circumference measurement is. Put the tape rule 2 inches below it for the natural waist. Now let's demonstrate that. The waist circumference around the navel, or you can refer to this as the round body. So this is it. I'm having 28 here. Okay, now the other one is the natural waist circumference. Natural waist circumference, which is where your trouser is going to sit or skirt. So 2 inches below your round body or your waist circumference. So this is your waist circumference, this is your natural waist circumference. So I'm having 31 inches. Now we have your hip circumference. Your hip circumference for the male Just put it across somewhere here. Then for the female, you put it across the biggest parts of the hip. Usually it's about 7 inch below the natural waist. 7 inch below the natural waist. So you put your tape rule across it. That is the hip circumference. The hip circumference. Okay? Now, the center back neck to natural waistline. Center back neck to the natural waistline. Center back neck to the natural waistline. Center back neck to the natural waistline. Do you see it? Now, center front neck to the natural waistline. Center front neck to the natural waistline. Did you get this? Okay? So, the next one is the neck circumference. The neck circumference around the biggest part of the neck. That's your neck circumference. Okay? You also have your head circumference. My mannequin head is not here, so I use my own head. Your head circumference, the biggest part of your head, your waist circumference. Mine is 23. Now, you have your across back width. Locally here, you can also refer to it as, they say, the back. So they are across back width. They are also going to take the across front width. So this is the across back width from this joining here to this joining. Across back width. Now the across front width you have from this place to this place. Across front width. All these measurements are very important. We are going to use them on drafting our pattern. We have the shoulder length, which is from the neck here to these joints. The neck here to these joints. Now, some tailors also refer to this back as shoulder. Well, it's not completely wrong. There is a way you can get this. By the time you measure the across back width and you measure the shoulder, if you don't have the across back width and you have the measurement of the shoulder, there is a way you can use it to determine the across back width. And if you have the across back width, you don't have the shoulder, there is a way to determine the shoulder. That I am also going to explain when we are going to draft our pattern or when we are going to do cutting. Now, we have the sleeve, which is from these joints here to this place. This bone. This is the sleeve. Okay? And other people also measure. We also have the biceps. The biceps. So I'm measuring the bicep, the biggest parts of your hand around this side. That is your biceps. Okay? The biceps. Now, one other thing I did not include in the measurements is measuring of the armhole. Measuring of the armhole. If you want to measure the armhole, this is where it's applicable. From at the front side, you measure your armhole, you put your tape rule round it to the center here, put it round from this joining here, you cuff it. I'm having 9 here. So you also repeat the same thing at the back to where you stop when you were measuring the front. Now, how do you determine the points where you stop? It is usually around this chest area, this nipple point area. So that's where you determine how down it should come. It shouldn't fall below that side, the nipple area here. Neither should you allow it to go too up. Okay, so we are going to measure the back height front floor, or simply put, the full length from your neck area here. You put the tape rule straight down to the floor, straight down to the floor, straight down to the floor. That's your full length. That's your full length. Then we have your low waist to the floor length. Low waist to the floor length. In other words, if you are measuring a trouser or a skirt, what it simply means is that from your natural waist, where your trouser or skirt is sitting, from your natural waist down to the floor. Your natural waist down to the floor. So you just put it from your natural waist at the side here. Just stretch it, the tape rule, down to the floor. Now, some people say they want their trousers, they want it pencil, and the female will say they want to wear a high heel on it. So for one who wants to wear a high heel on it, you increase the length. You assume an additional measurement because of the high heel. And for those who say they want it pencil and they don't want it touching the floor, you just stop at the ankle there. You don't let it fall to the ground. Okay? So the next one is your natural waistline to the hip. Your natural waistline to the hip. Natural waistline to the hip. Remember, we have your waistline or round body and your natural waistline to the hip, and your natural waistline. So that your natural waistline to the hip most times is 7. So you have your front crush length. Front crush length. Now, your natural waistline to the center here. Your natural waistline to the center here. Now, the back crush length. The back crush length. Your natural waistline here to the center here, where the other one was stopping while you were measuring the front. Now, we have the inside leg length. Most times in Africa, we don't do this. But for those taking measurements in overseas, they will understand this better. So this is referring to from this place, the inseam, the inside leg, down to the length where you want your clothes to stop. So you just put it here and you stretch it down. You stretch it down. Now, we have the thigh circumference. The thigh circumference. This is your thigh circumference. This is your thigh circumference. When you are measuring your thigh circumference, for the female, usually they want it exactly their thigh, most times, fitted. Then for the male, when they say fitted, you don't make it exactly the thigh circumference. You add maybe like 2 inches to it, it's still going to be fitted. Now you measure your calf circumference. Your calf circumference. This is your calf. This place. This is your calf circumference. So this is where you measure your calf circumference. Then you have your ankle circumference. This is your ankle circumference here. Somewhere around here. This is your ankle. The mouth of your trouser. Ankle circumference. And then you have your heel foot circumference. Heel foot circumference, you need it because you want to know how wide the ankle circumference should be. You walk hand in hand. You want to pull your trouser so that it goes out freely. So you are referring to somewhere around here, from this side across to this place. Across to this place. I hope you are seeing it. Okay? And then finally you have your seat depth. Now while measuring your seat depth, depending, you ask the person to sit down. You ask the person to sit down, and like sitting down like this. Then from the natural waistline here, you then measure it to the seats. You measure it to the seats, to the buttocks, to the seats. So that's your seat depth. So that is it about measurements. That is it about measurement. If there's still anything you don't understand, then you can check the templates I post on my Twitter and on my Facebook. When you check, you will see the templates you can follow in taking a proper measurement. The link to both my Twitter and my Facebook page is right there on your screen. So now this measurement we have taken can be used to construct any kind of pattern, can be used to sew any kind of clothes. So this is all for now.